Alright guys, welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today I'm going to kind of go through basic server setup for those of you guys who are interested in renting a server and hosting Conan Exiles for yourself. I'm going to go through kind of some of the setup that we have here in the Haze Exiles server, um, just to give you an idea of what you should tweak and what you should change, what you should leave alone, stuff like that. And then if you guys have questions, just leave comments down below and I'll answer them the best I can. I will start off by saying that I've owned a lot of servers. I've rented and hosted out of my own PC servers for Arma and all different types of survival crafting games, including multiple ARC servers and all of that stuff. And I'm pretty impressed with the way Conan developed the admin menu. I'm impressed with the different server settings that some of the hosters have enabled. And right now I am using GTX Gaming to host the Haze Exile server. I also had one on survival servers. I found that it was a little buggy. Server was constantly going down, and although the customer service was pretty fast, it was just a pain. It was constantly going down, and at the end of the day, I want to be able to play when I want to play, and I want other people to be able to play on the server when they want to play, and I don't want to constantly have to have issues with it. So I use GTX Gaming. Who you use as a service provider, completely up to you. I will say it is extremely, extremely popular. It is something that a lot of people are opting to do. Instead of playing on an official server, they want to play on a unofficial server where you can tweak some settings and you can do what you want to do. So I'll go through some of those settings now. One of the questions that I got in a previous video that I'm going to address right now is server wipes. So for those of you guys who played Reign of Kings and those of you guys who play Rust, you'll probably remember that there are server wipes constantly. And especially with the game being in alpha, every time they do an update, it felt like they needed to do a server wipe. I have yet to see any updates that require server wipes for Conan, which is nice. Now, that's not to say that there won't be updates that require server wipes, because I'm sure there will be. So for those of you guys who are worried about, well, am I going to spend all this time building a base and spend hours in the game crafting and gathering resources, and then all of a sudden they wipe my server? Well, that's kind of the nature of alphas. So if you're worried about that, then I would hold off on playing the game until they release a more stable version. Because there may be server wipes. Now, if you are the owner of a server, or you play in the Haze server, either one, then those wipes may be less frequent. They do tend to wipe servers on official servers more often than you need to wipe the server on an unofficial. Basically because people just craft stuff everywhere and leave it, and they basically just want to make sure that the server is clear. So they'll do server wipes when they don't really need to do a server wipe. That being said, there are releases that require server wipes. So even if you play on a Haze server, don't be super mad when we have to wipe the server, because we have to update the game. So server wipes are inevitable. It's an alpha. I haven't seen any yet, but it is a real risk when you spend hours building a base and then you have to do a server wipe. I have to think that based on the game layout, based on the fact that they do have a game mode that will do a server wipe every 30 days, that's the hardcore mode. I gotta think that they want to keep it server wipes to a minimum, but again, I don't know for sure. Time will tell. So some of the settings. So basically, when you rent your server and you get to you get the server up and running, you're going to want to go into your configuration settings and you want to change some stuff. So vanilla servers right now, the resource gathering is low, the encumbrance is really quick. I mean, you get encumbered really quickly, and there's all different types of things you can change. So one of the first things you should take a look at is clan size. So You don't want everybody, obviously, to be in the same clan. And for the Haze server, it's a 20-person server right now. I have the clan size set at a max of 5. So 5 people can be in a clan, and that's it. I have full nudity in the server. You can change that to be off if you want a more family-friendly server. You can shut nudity off completely so that players cannot go around naked and see the characters naked. And I've assigned my server to be a role-playing server. You can assign your server to be whatever you want, and then when someone loads up the game, they can easily search by what type of server they'd like to play on. Now, there's no official rules or anything like that for role-playing. Role-playing doesn't mean, oh, no KOS. It's whoever owns the server kind of makes up the rules and goes from there. But you can assign it so that the majority of people that play in your server know that it's a role-playing server and that they shouldn't act like dicks. The next thing I increased in the server was player XP rate multiplier. So I increased that a little bit, just by I changed it from 1 to 2, so that you gain XP a little bit more quickly. One of the problems here a lot of server owners face is that they raise that XP so quickly. They'll raise it to 5, 6, 10, whatever they want to do. Now they can craft anything in the world in the first 10 minutes of the game, but guess what? That doesn't help you because you haven't gathered any resources to be able to craft any of those things that you need. And you certainly don't have the encumbrance level that necessary to get all of those resources. So when you start messing with settings like that too quickly, you really run into problems in the game. So we have it set at 2. It's been working fine. You rank up just fine. It's not, listen, if you want to rank up and you want to cheat and you want to just rank up for the first day all the levels, this is probably not the game for you. Player XP kill multiplier, put that up to 3. So if you get a kill, you get increased XP for that. I'm just going to turn this to day. I really don't want to make a video in the middle of the night. Oh, I just turned it to nighttime. I changed it to noon. Alright. Survival settings. Player active thirst multiplier. I reduced that from 1 to 0.7, and also hunger multiplier from 1 to 0.7. Again, you still want the hunger factor and the thirst factor in there, but they go a little quickly. So you want to make sure that you reduce that a little bit. You also have the ability to have logged out characters remain in world, drop equipment on death, and everybody can loot corpse. Those are completely up to you. There's pros and cons of all. Logged out characters remain in world means that when you log out, your body just falls down, and any animal or player that comes along can kill you. And that's basically how Reign of Kings is. And also Ark is like that too. So if you don't build a shelter, basically you can expect that the next time you log in the game, you're going to be dead. Either an animal is going to kill you or another player is going to kill you. So if you want to change that and untick that, your body won't stay in the game when you log out. Drop equipment on death. I have that checked as yes. So basically, when you die, you're going to lose all your equipment. There are games that have allow you to keep your equipment, servers that allow you to keep all of your equipment after you die. I feel like you're going to put yourself into much more risky situations. You're going to invade bases that you shouldn't be invading. You're going to do a lot of stuff that you shouldn't be doing if you know that there's no downside to actually dying, because you're going to have all your equipment. So in this server, if you die, you're going to lose everything. You're going to start again. And I like it that way. And then everybody can loot corpse. I have checked on as well, so that if you want to kill somebody, you can actually loot their body. Okay. So I'm sorry I'm hitting escape, guys. I'm just going down a list of the server settings that I have here. Combat settings I haven't changed at all. Harvest settings I did increase. Again, this is another one of those settings that server owners will go through and they'll increase to insane numbers. And it doesn't help you one bit because you didn't increase the encumbrance. You didn't increase anything else except how much you get. And so all of a sudden you hit a rock. You get 1,000 rocks. You're immediately encumbered. You have to drop half of them. It's just a mess. So don't go crazy increasing harvesting amounts. We increased the multiplier from 1 to 3. So I think that's a good harvest amount. It seems to be working pretty good. Land claim radius multiplier. Really don't need to touch that. You can leave it alone. Crafting speed multiplier. If you want to craft things a little bit more quickly, you can certainly do that. I don't feel like it's that big of a nuisance in the game because they stay in a queue and you can still run around at the same speed. In Ark, you run around 2 miles an hour, so you'd want to do something like that in Ark. But in this game, it's probably not necessary. But you could do it if you wanted to. You can increase the chat local radius if you like. But again, your icon will show up over here on the left-hand side of the screen as soon as you start talking. So if you talk in game a lot, people will see that. If you want to decrease the radius, you can certainly do that. And really, that's pretty much it, guys, in terms of server settings. I wouldn't go changing a ton more than that. Outside of that, you can certainly change PvP enabled versus PvP disabled. PvP blitz mode means that the server is going to wipe every 30 days. You don't want to do that unless you're anticipating a wipe. You can add Battle Eye if you want to stop people from cheating. Battle Eye enabled. Can damage player-owned structures. If you want people to be able to destroy bases, you can check that on. If you want people's bases to all be safe, you can turn that off. In this server right now, that is turned off, meaning that no one can go and destroy your base with a bunch of bombs. I found that out the hard way in a previous video when I tried to blow my base up and it didn't blow up. And then also enable Sandstorm. It's kind of a weather event that can really drain you. So that's it, guys. Again, not a long video. Kind of just wanted to go through the settings that we have changed and some of the things you should watch out for if you are planning on renting a server. It is a little bit expensive to rent the server. I think I'm renting it for about 20 bucks a month, and that was kind of the price of the game was $29.99, and then I'm renting the server for another $20 a month. I think it's great. I think it's worth it for me. Might not be worth it for you guys. If not, feel free to jump on my server, any other official server that you feel like the settings are where you want them to be. But it's a game where if you were going to rent a server in any one of the survival games, and you had to pick one, pick Conan versus Ark. I think everything is just a lot more simple, a lot more seamless. The admin panel is great. I can show you that right here. You can see the player list. You can see my Steam ID if you wanted that. And you can ban players if you want. So just based on that, you can ban them. You can spawn in creatures. You can spawn in different humanoids. It's pretty cool. It really, really is very cool. You can, add yourself food. You can add yourself water. You can turn demigod mode on. You can increase your XP. You can do a lot of stuff just from the admin menu alone without actually shutting down the server, which I think is another cool feature. So that's it. If you guys have questions about server rental, if you guys have some questions about server settings, please leave a comment. I will answer as quickly as I can. Like I said, I've rented and owned a lot of different servers, and I'm pretty familiar with the layout and how that works. So ask away, and hopefully this video helps. Thanks, guys.